Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren. If you're new here, it is so nice to meet you. Wanted to bring you along for a day in my life as a sales operations analyst on a typical Monday. So today's is kind of different for me in that I typically have a standing sales operations meeting every Monday, but it was canceled for today because someone is out. So I actually do have time to check my emails, get things back situated, see what happened over the weekend, and kind of plan out my week. So bring you along for work today, as well as sort of what work looks like afterwards. In my role, I work 100% remote. I only go into the office maybe once, twice a year, and I actually just went last week. But typically I work 100% remote. I'm usually working at home. Sometimes I go to coffee shops. Sometimes I'm just out and about. Today I'm home because it's a Monday. It's raining outside. But after work, I'm going to be cooking dinner and I'm going to the gym. So I'm going to bring you along for both of those things and kind of see what that looks like. So it is currently 9:12 a.m. I typically start work around 9 o'clock. So I'm just getting in here and I'm going to check some emails and see what's happening. Now that I've checked my email and I kind of see what's going on for today, I'm going to make some coffee. I really want to try, I got the cookie butter, like spread from Trader Joe's, and I really want to try a cookie butter latte, like iced though. I'm excited to try that. So yeah, I'm going to try to make that in a little bit, but let me finish my to-do list and then we'll make some coffee. If you haven't already, follow me on TikTok so you can keep up to date on this coffee video. Plus, I have several others of different coffees that I make pretty much every day as I'm working from home or I'm just making them for other people. I also just make other types of content on there that is different than what you'll see here on YouTube. So make sure that you're following me on TikTok so you can stay up to date on all the things that I do. We'll get back to work. And while I was making coffee, I had, I think, 2 messages from people at work. So now I need to see what they want, what they need. Wait, I gotta show you this chair real quick. Okay, I know. And see, this is what I'm talking about. ADHD keeps me so distracted. But real quick. Look at this chair. Another message. Look at this chair. It's so cute. This is like one of the viral TikTok chairs that I got. So this part swivels like this. And then this is like for your feet. This allows you to do like, this allows you to go like crisscross in the chair and do that. Do I have 2 keyboards on my desk? I do. Mind your business, okay? Told you I got TikToks to film. So yeah, that's that. I'm checking some of my messages that I've missed since I was making my coffee. I'll tell you a quick thing about some of the things that were coming through. It's open enrollment is about to happen at my job, I think in a month or so. So they're sending out just like reminders and things. And I'm glad that they have some like informational sessions that we can attend to learn more about like benefits and, you know, helping you make the right decision. So I'm going to those because I need to get everything I can get for free. I ain't trying to pay for nothing. But if you have that at your job, go to like the little informational things because you end up learning so much more about like what you have offered to you than kind of what you think. So I'm going to those. My manager, well, he's not even my manager, really my director of my department, sent out like just some updates for the week or whatever. But the first thing he said was, "Go Birds." And That right there just made me in a good mood, okay? Because the Eagles game last night versus the Rams was crazy. I was with my family yesterday and we were screaming our heads off because we blocked the field goal that would have won the Rams the game, and then we ran it back for like an 87-yard touchdown by Jordan Davis. Okay, put some respect on the birds. I don't want to hear nothing about Jalen Hurts, none of it. I don't tolerate none of it. Okay? When the last time your team won the Super Bowl? I'll wait. Oh, okay. Anyway, I'm typing back "Go Birds," and then I can finish with the rest of the stuff I gotta do. I said "Go Birds," and I put two bird emojis, and then I said "What a game" with like the exhausted face, because girl, that was exhausting. Blood pressure was high. I don't know, I was sweating, it was getting hot. All the things that the birds put you through, I experienced. Why is this cookie butter latte this good? Like, of course I knew it was gonna be good because, you know, I made it, but it's too good. You ever want something to be good, but like not too good that you're gonna want more, but just good enough for the moment? This is too good. Because now I feel like, maybe do I need another one tomorrow? And that's I don't need that in my life. As you know, I'm on this weight loss journey. So this is like, coffee is like my dessert. It's like my sweet treat. It's because I don't eat crazy no more. So this is my crazy. But this can't be too crazy that I'm overdoing it, you know? All right. I'm going to actually do some work. I'm going to put my music on because I need music to concentrate. So I'm just going to do some work and I'll check back in with you in a little bit. I have about 15 emails that I have to continue going through. So kind of a little overview on what my kind of role is without giving away too much, you know. As like a sales analyst, typically what my role is within like the sales department is I am in operations. So I'm supporting the actual sales agents who are the ones selling the product to our customers. So in the operations role, I'm the one who's doing a lot of communication with the customer, making sure that what is agreed upon with the sales rep is actually happening on the back end when it comes to sending over like quotes, invoices, making sure a payment is received, and then working in partnership with our finance department to make sure people's money is received, number one, and that it's being recognized on their account internally that, hey, we received their money, so that they're able to then have access to our product. So that's cool, sort of a high overview of like what I do. Now when I say that I have like emails, I really mean tickets. They are emails, but we signify them as tickets, and these are ticket requests that I'm basically working. So currently I manage primarily, I would say two inboxes. We have like two different inboxes that I manage where customers are sending us different requests or questions, etc. So I kind of manage those, and I majorly take all of the tickets that come in, except there are some that get sent to us that need to go to other departments. So then it becomes a lot of me managing who's supposed to be answering this ticket. So I'm sort of like the first line of defense. Either I'm going to answer it or I'm going to assign it to the correct person or department where that ticket needs to go. So typically when I first come into work any given day, that's literally the first thing that I do. Before I even check my own personal work emails, I'm coming into these inboxes and I'm saying, okay, we got these many tickets in from either the weekend or the night before. Let's get these tickets assigned either to me or to someone else, so that then people know throughout the day, like kind of what they need to be focused on and doing. So I'm triaging the tickets right away. So I've kind of done that already, although again, because this is an email inbox, we're constantly getting emails in. So even though I'm done doing that from this past weekend, we're still going to get tickets in today, throughout the day. So I'm then rechecking the inboxes and re-signing out constantly. So I know that's a lot, but yeah, that's kind of typically what I'm doing. I'm answering emails, then tickets, and then I'm assigning tickets to other people, and I'm constantly checking our inbox to see what's going on. Kind of the period that we're in at my job right now is the beginning time period of us selling for 2026. We are getting a lot of inquiries in because we kind of just sent out renewal quotes to people. So we're sending out pricing, we're processing quotes, we're answering questions, getting people their invoices so then they can pay us. It's sort of like a never-ending revolving door. So it is 10:30. So yeah, our day's still going. I typically take lunch at about 12 o'clock, from 12 to 1. Now, lunch for me that's different every day, okay? Today's Monday, so for lunch, now, literally for lunch, I probably never eat. I'm always just doing random things, whether that's going to the store, scrolling TikTok, whatever. So who knows what I'm going to do today? I'll figure it out. Tuesdays during my lunch break, I actually take that time and I see my therapist. So I have therapy every Tuesday during my lunch break, which works out well because I ain't got to take off work because it's my lunch. So I really have off from the gym maybe 1 or 2 days a week, if that. I really try to stay as active as possible. I feel like it really does a lot for me, not even just in like health wise, like physically, but it really does a lot for my mental health, especially with me getting this ADHD figured out. I really needed that. So I might as well get into sort of this ADHD thing while I'm working. And so I'm going to be looking at my screen. So I ain't looking at you right now, but so like I said a while ago, I don't know if I did or not. And it's ADHD. I don't know if I told you or not. I started seeing a psychiatrist maybe 2 months ago because I was going to therapy for the past 2 years. Now, I've had ADHD since I was a child, and I never really got help with ADHD. What I did get was academic accommodations at school. When you're a kid, you get untimed testing, you get whatever the school wants to give you, and what your parents advocate for. So I really got all of that aspect when it came to ADHD, which honestly I really did need. So I'm grateful for the support that I did receive for that. However, now that I'm older and I call myself going through a midlife crisis at 30, hold on, another, of course. What was I saying? Good Lord. Okay, yeah, so I got help that way with ADHD, but I didn't get any help after. Now, I'm 30, going through my own 30 midlife crisis, that's what I like to call it. And I feel like my ADHD now in my life is so much different than when I was a kid. And I feel like it's affecting me so much more now that, not even now, but, through young adulthood, with having responsibility. It's one thing to have ADHD as a kid when you have no responsibilities aside from school. But now having so much responsibility with work, marriage, everything, it's so much more unmanageable for me. And I really realized that. And I don't know. I was going to therapy and I was really just expressing for so long, like, I feel so overwhelmed. I feel so behind. I feel like I have so much that I'm trying to do at one time, and it just seems like I can't get a grasp on anything. So after talking with my therapist, she, kind of asked me, well, have you ever taken, medication? And I was like, girl, no. I'm Black, first of all. And well, if you don't, in a Black household, that's just like not a thing. And I get it, it's not everybody's Black household experience, but it was mine. And I think it was just the type of thing of not having enough information surrounding medication, and then you just hear the, I guess, horror stories of medication, of kids being strung out or abusing medication. And I think for my parents, I think they were doing the best that they could at the time, given the information that they had about ADHD and about the treatment of it. And it was kind of thing where I got the diagnosis and they received it, but then it was just, that was it, and it was just like, get her some help in school. But it didn't help me now. And that's what I realized. So my therapist recommended that I see a psychiatrist. So I made an appointment with a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist asked me to bring my initial diagnosis of ADHD. And that was a struggle, because I had to have a conversation with my mom that, hey, I'm trying to get this thing figured out and I need the paperwork. She had to figure out, where the paperwork was herself. So I eventually found the paperwork in an old email, and it was an 18-page document that was an assessment that I received when I was a kid. Now, what's crazy is I remember going through the initial ADHD testing. This guy from the school district that I grew up in came to my house, and he went through this assessment. And at the time, I knew what it was, but I didn't fully, of course, grasp what was going on. So he, went through all these different things, blah, 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 and did all that. And so now, to be 32 years old and being able to read the report of basically how I was assessed and sort of my cognitive abilities, it blew me through the roof. Just to hear how it was described. I'm gonna find it really quick, because I need to read some of it to you, just to give you the gist of why this was so much for me at the time. Let me pull this up, okay? Because I got this saved on the phone. That's how much it rocked me. Yes, okay. Look how long this thing is. Anyway, I'm gonna read a little bit. Okay, so I was 12 years old at the time, right? But reading this, I felt like it was still describing me now. So I don't know, that I felt really rocked me, because it was I didn't change in a sense. I'm the age I am, but I feel still I'm this 12-year-old little girl. First of all, I was crying when I read this, and I know people probably, I don't know, and I felt misunderstood in a little bit, because it was of course your family is just they see you in this light of but you're not this person, you've grown too much, look, all these things. And it's I get it, I've done a lot, I've accomplished a lot, and I'm not taking away that from myself, but it's I still feel how I feel, and it's nobody gets that. So yeah, that was, it was a lot. Okay, it says Lauren has a hard time staying on task. Reading is a real struggle for Lauren. She has difficulty staying on task and is easily bored and distracted. Lauren's progress in science and history is minimal, blah, blah, blah. Okay, hear this. Lauren often struggled to find words, word retrieval issues, and or organize a spoken/written response. This was most readily observed on extended writing tasks, such as constructing a paragraph or verbally demanding tasks requiring more than a single word response. Lauren routinely overlooked visual cues that once reminded or redirected, she easily self-corrected. Finally, tests that required the person to hold on to either a verbal or visual forms of data routinely observed Lauren to hastily concede defeat or otherwise embark on a series of facial expressions, clearly indicating a mixture of both confusion and frustrated. Lauren was highly responsive to mild forms of redirection, thus overall motivation, cooperation, and effort each ranged from fair to excellent. As noted in the observation of the section of the report, it should be stressed that Lauren often struggled in a number of areas. This would include frequently failing to find the word on the tip of her tongue and difficulty organizing a verbal response beyond a single word or sentence fragment. As a result, there were a number of times when Lauren seemed to know more information than she could readily, accurately express. Overall, results suggest good verbal reasoning that may be enhanced by strategies designed to have Lauren step back, breathe, and organize her thoughts in a way to systematically respond. Like I said, this thing was 18 pages. I ain't gonna read it all and bore you, but whew, that was crazy. And so like I had to get that report, go over it, and give it to my psychiatrist. And so after seeing a psychiatrist, he recommended that I start taking ADHD medication, which again, I was interested myself, but I think what stopped me was I was so worried about other people's perspective on that. And that's so sad because it was like, here I am struggling and I'm trying to do what I need to do for myself, but I'm worried about how other people are going to feel about me taking care of myself. And it sounds so crazy to say, and you may get it if you relate, or it may just be like, well, why do you care? That's just one of the things I struggle with is, I don't want to say it's people pleasing because I don't really care to please people, but I think for the people that are close to me, I do care that they are proud of me. And I think I was worried that if people knew that I was taking this medication, that they would think that I'm, in a sense, unstable, or that like I had way deeper issues going on than I really do. Yeah, that I don't even know why that's like putting a little lump in my throat to make me emotional. But yeah, I was really worried about it. But I got to a point of struggling for so long that I was just like, I don't care. I got to a point of not caring what people thought. And I think that was kind of like just my breaking point with it. It was just like, if people think differently of me, family, friend, stranger, whoever, like, I just don't care. I have to do what I have to do for myself at the end of the day. Like, I'm not going to continue suffering. So I went to a psychiatrist and I learned about different medication offerings. And he himself was surprised of like the fact of, you know, I've went 30 years plus unmedicated with ADHD. And, you know, he just commended me. And it was nice to hear. He commended me for just, I don't know, in a sense, roughing it out. Like, I was literally roughing it out unmedicated. Picture, and he described it this way to me, which helped, you know, picture someone having this invisible autoimmune disease, anything else, any other type of condition. And instead of getting medication to help them, they're just struggling in pain every single day. You know, you would tell that person, go see the doctor, get the help you need. It would be encouraged. But I think for mental health and other things of that nature, it's just like this taboo thing that we think that when people take medication or they're going to seek a psychiatrist or a therapist, like, something's wrong with them. And it's like, why does something have to be wrong? Why you go to the doctor every year for a checkup? Why can't I go get myself checked out? Why can't I make sure I'm okay mentally and physically? So he told me about, like I said, he told me about ADHD medications. Now, there are different types of ADHD medications. There is stimulants and non-stimulants. I don't know everything about it, so I don't want to put too much, check with your psychiatrist, therapist. Do not take my advice word, none of it, okay? I still don't know what I'm doing half the time. But I started out with a non-stimulant just because, again, I've never taken ADHD medication. So he wanted to start me off slow in this new journey. So I started off with taking Straterra, which is a non-stimulant. I started off, I don't know what on dosage, but I started on a low dosage. And it was the type of thing that within 7 days, then I tiered up to another dosage, and I was on that for 30 days. Now, Straterra was really good for me. Just, my first experience with taking ADHD medication, it really helped me focus. It really, I don't know, it felt like I had this superpower for once. Like I could sit down at the screen and I could do my work and I wouldn't get distracted, and I don't know, I feel like for the first time I could think clearly. I think people with ADHD, the thing is, like, I always used to have like a song in the back of my head constantly on a loop. Like I would break out just singing because the song is playing when I don't want it to. And it was just like having so many thoughts happening at once. And it just felt like I was so scattered brain. And to once have it to where like it was quiet, just like this. It was quiet, I just realized I never turned this mic back on. I'm so sorry. I hope you can hear. I hope that heard. Anyway, yeah, for once it was quiet in my head and I didn't have this like overall consuming thoughts that drained me. It was amazing. So, So I started off taking Straterra and it was great, but I felt like after a while, it just wasn't strong enough for me anymore. So I recently have just started taking Vyvanse, which is a stimulant. Vyvanse is so good. Vyvanse has been really well for me, and it lasts a much longer window of time than Straterra did. So I've been taking Vyvanse maybe about a month now, on 30 milligrams, and I'm going to be going up to 40 milligrams. And then I go back to my psychiatrist in a couple of weeks just to check in on things. But overall, like, I feel so much better. I feel so much more capable. I feel like that's the only word I can describe. I feel so much more capable. I feel so much more in control of my mind, of like my feelings, my thoughts, everything. It literally like feels like the pieces are finally fitting together for me for once. Let me come back to that ticket. I don't know. I feel like I just feel so much better about myself, about where I'm at. And I just feel like I can do so much more without having to suffer as much as I was. So I feel really good. I really do. I feel good. I feel proud of myself in a number of ways, but really I feel proud of myself for like prioritizing myself, for advocating for myself, and not being afraid to say that I needed help. I think that was a hard thing to admit because it's typical when you see somebody, the first thing they say is, "Hey, how are you?" Our first initial response typically is good. And we say that like without even thinking at times because it's just what we're accustomed to. It's what we're used to. We're used to having to have everything always together. Even when you're not, even when it's not good, you tell people that you're good. What if like we had the boldness to be honest with people and say, you know what? Hey, how are you? Not good, but I'm making it through. Something so simple. Having that type of boldness to say I'm not okay or I need help, that really does a lot for you, but it really does a lot for someone else too, because it gives someone else the space and the freedom to like have their own self-reflection and to check in with themselves and say, if she's doing it, if she's brave enough to talk about this, like you know, I can talk about it too. I've had so many people say to me like, man, I've wanted to go see a psychiatrist, or I've wanted to go to therapy, but I've been afraid. And seeing you talk about it makes me feel more comfortable to do it. And I encourage everyone, whether you have ADHD or not, like, go see a therapist. Have somebody outside of your family and friends that you can talk to, that can help you organize your thoughts, that can help you go through your childhood, go through what you're going through now. Like, you need to have an advocate, someone that's on your side, but someone that will also tell you the truth, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it hurts you. Truth is always needed. So that's kind of what I've been up to as far as my mental health. I feel like I'm in a much better place than I was a couple of years ago. I'm still really learning a lot about myself, about ADHD. There's a lot of things that I think I chalked up to being like a character issue, but actually it's really ADHD. And that's freeing, because it's like, I felt like that was something wrong with me, but it's not wrong. And ADHD is not wrong either. You know, it's just a different way that my brain processes information, a different way of thinking. And I can be proud of it. I can be proud to say I do have ADHD. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not embarrassed, because it's me. It makes up who I am. So I feel like I'm in a really good place, mentally. And I encourage you, again, do some check-ins with yourself, do some check-ins with a therapist, talk to somebody. Do not suffer alone. If you need a friend, if you need somebody to talk to, I'm always here. You can reach me on social media, email, all the things, but reach out to someone. Don't suffer alone. And if you have ADHD, I'd love to talk with you. I'd love to hear your story, sort of like where you are with things. It's a journey. It's so funny to say that, because the church I go to is called The Journey. Really great church in Delaware if you're looking for a church. It's in Newark. But at the end of every service, like sort of after they've prayed and they close out, they always say, enjoy the journey. And I always thought that was like, I think my first time going, I always thought that was like so cool, because the church is called The Journey and you're telling us enjoy the journey, because, you know, spirituality is a journey, but life's a journey too. And it is true. You do need to enjoy the journey that you're on. You need to enjoy the life that God has given you, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the ups and downs, the tragedies, the hurt, the pain, everything. It's still to be enjoyed, and it's still a blessing. Even heartache, even pain, those things are a blessing, because they teach you, they grow you, they stretch you. So yeah, ADHD is a superpower, and I'm proud to say I got it. All right, time check. It is 11. I just have a little bit of time before lunch again at 12. So I just got about 3 new tickets in, because these 2 look like junk. Yeah, so I just have a couple of more tickets that I'm trying to get through before lunchtime, because I'm gonna like have an empty inbox before lunch to prep dinner before I go to the gym tonight. I saw this TikTok of this meal that I kind of really want to make. It's I'll insert a little clip so you can see. I really want to make this tonight with chicken and salmon, and instead of bok choy, I want to do broccoli. I already have everything. I want to season the meat and stuff, and let it marinate. Because again, I'm going to the gym from 5:30 to 6:30. So that way when I come back from the gym, it's quicker for me to cook it. Because I ain't got time. I'm gonna be tired, sweaty, hungry. So I need to get that together. I still have to put this chair together, this other chair that I got. I probably won't get through all of my TikToks that I need to film today, because then I still got to edit them. Then I got to edit this vlog. I have a lot that I'm trying to do. I really need to finish drinking my coffee. and my water. The thing about taking Vyvanse, one of the side effects, and it's not a negative side effect because I need it, is dry mouth. My mouth is so dry, which makes me need more water, which is good. It's a good side effect, like I said, because I need to stay hydrated anyway, and I really want to up my water intake, so it's a good side effect. Another side effect of taking ADHD medication is, number one, is the dry mouth, like I just said, and food suppression, like your appetite. I've really just realized it's 11:20. I haven't even eaten breakfast today. Vyvanse was my breakfast, and then I have this coffee, but I'm not hungry. With taking this medication, like, you really have to remember to eat and force yourself to eat at the same time, because you need the energy. Yeah, and then on top of that, I'm taking a GLP-1 medication. So those two together is like, you know, it's working. It's working for real. So I think on my lunch break, I'm gonna eat something. I don't know what to eat because I'm not hungry again. And I feel like I'm at this point with food where it's like, I don't know. I feel like everything disgusts me. Like, just the thought of certain things, I'm like, ooh, maybe I'll eat some eggs. And then I'm like, ugh, if I eat eggs, I'll throw up. I don't know. I need to get more. Maybe I'll go to my favorite place, Sprouts. Maybe I'll go to Sprouts and see, I don't know. I just need some like quick snacks to eat. I don't have any snacks. I don't know. I feel like since I've been on this weight loss journey, I've really paid a lot more attention to nutrition facts, ingredients. Like, I'm such like an ingredient freak. I'm looking at everything of what's in it. And because of that, like, I really try to stick with eating like whole foods. Like, I really like a whole food diet. And what I mean by that is like, and foods need to be made like single ingredients or minimal ingredients as possible. Like, if I want a burger, the ingredients of the beef burger should be beef. Like, it shouldn't have added oils. It shouldn't have any added nothing. Like, you know, I'm just really particular about those things because those things really matter. And at a time in my life, I didn't care, and I care now, especially with trying to lose weight, and especially with learning more about my relationship with food, and the way food affects me. I'm very particular, and my stomach is actually a lot more sensitive now as well. Like, if I eat the wrong things, like, I'm gonna be paying for it, and I ain't got time to be paying for it. I don't have time to like not feel well, because when that comes, and I think there may be a side effect of the GLP-1 is like, when I eat something that I shouldn't eat and I do, like, oh my gosh, it will correct you from eating bad. It really will. Like, I'm like sick. And typically it literally only lasts a day of like not feeling well, but that day is so miserable. Like, it will make you question your whole life, praying all day, okay? Praying because your stomach is hurt and you gotta go to the bathroom at the same time, and it's no fun, and you're just miserable, and I don't have time for that. Like, I've only had that happen maybe 3 times since starting a GLP-1 like 8 months ago, but I can't at all. 12:20. I'm gonna try to put this chair together so then I can make the content for this chair and the other chair. Let me post this TikTok really quick, and then we'll put the chair together. All the links for the items mentioned in this video, you'll be able to find below. It is 1:10. I think it on time. Let me show you. Ooh, ain't she cute? Ain't she cute? That's one of those like crisscross chairs. I don't know if the color's coming across. Let me turn this light around. See, it's like that pinky color. So pretty. I just logged back in, and I have 7 new tickets to either take or assign to somebody else. So I'm gonna go through these really quick, and then I'm gonna check off some things on my to-do list that I had, then hopefully get some learning done. All right, time check. It is 3:59, which means it's almost 4 o'clock. Okay. I'm done for the day. I did just finish. I finished 2 different YouTube videos and a TikTok. So I've checked off a lot of things on our to-do list. Let me clean up a little bit, get myself together. I'll see you in the car. I'm going to the gym and I'm about to just sit real quick. I'm tired. That was great. I got back home, but way too tired to be talking, so I apologized. But as you remember, earlier I said I was going to be making this meal off of TikTok, but I wanted to do chicken thighs and salmon instead of just chicken because I got to cook for, several different people. So I went ahead and got this all together, cooked and seared my chicken and salmon, and then I just threw over some oyster sauce, soy sauce, and a sweet chili. Thank you so much for sticking with me on this Monday. I know it was kind of long, but I really, really appreciate it. Can't wait to see you in the next one.